All right, so let's dive into this. I think this is going to be something you're really going to love.
Yeah.
It's a super efficient daily routine that you can use for learning English.
Okay.
And we are going to be dissecting a video from a language expert
Right.
who swears by this system.
Right.
It's only 20 minutes.
Wow.
And get this, the inspiration behind this routine is her 3-year-old daughter.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So,
I like that.
I mean, who would have thunk?
Right. So her daughter was using the Kumon method.
Okay.
And so she was like, now could this...
I know what you're thinking, Kumon.
Yeah.
What is that?
Is that for kids?
Yeah. But the thing that's so interesting is it emphasizes short bursts of focused learning.
Yeah, that's
so
it.
you know it's about making progress, even if you only have a few minutes each day.
It's like a micro workout.
It is. It's like
Or a micro
probably
for your brain.
Micro dose of
Yes.
brain. Yes,
Instead
exactly.
of overwhelming yourself with hours of study, you're just taking these small little chunks.
Yeah, and actually that aligns with research on like
Yeah.
spaced repetition and active recall,
Totally.
which are techniques proven to boost memory retention.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you're telling me I can make tangible progress
Yes.
in just 20 minutes a day?
Yes.
Sign me up?
It's awesome.
Chatter.
But how does this break down?
Okay, so the first 5 minutes are all about listening.
Okay.
And in today's globalized world,
Yeah.
being able to understand different accents is a game changer.
It is.
Like, think about it. You might be taking an online course
Sure.
taught by someone with a British accent
Of course.
or attending a conference with speakers from all over the world.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It's so important.
I've definitely had those moments where I'm like nodding along.
Yes,
But inside I'm panicking.
Yeah.
I can't understand a single word.
exactly.
So how do we train our ears to actually pick up these nuances?
Well, the expert recommends a website called Ello,
Hello.
ello.org.
.org.
Yes, and they have audio and video lessons for different levels.
Okay.
And what's really cool is they focus on real conversations,
No.
not the robotic textbook dialogues that we're used to.
I think that's such a crucial point.
Yes.
Learning from authentic materials.
Right.
I remember when I was studying Spanish in school, and then I went to Spain,
Right.
and I was so confused.
Yes. Nobody's speaking in those perfectly conjugated sentences.
Nobody.
No, it's full of slang and idioms
Totally.
and regional variations.
Right.
Ello.org helps bridge that gap
Yeah.
by exposing you to the kind of language that you'd encounter in everyday situations.
And they have transcripts
Yes,
and vocabulary lists.
they have transcripts and vocabulary lists.
So helpful.
Yes, very helpful for dissecting what you're hearing.
Yeah.
Now, right after those 5 minutes of listening, you shift gears to speaking.
Ooh.
And the expert has some really clever tips here.
I'm all ears because...
I think for a lot of language learners, including myself,
Yeah.
speaking is the biggest hurdle.
It is the biggest hurdle.
It's one thing to understand,
Yes.
but to actually form the sentences
Right.
and get the pronunciation right, it's terrifying.
It can be very scary.
Yeah.
I understand completely.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest takeaways here is the difference between
Okay.
passive and active vocabulary.
Ooh.
So passive vocabulary is all those words that you recognize when you hear them.
Okay.
But active vocabulary is what you can readily use in conversation.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
for example,
Yeah.
I know the word exquisite.
Okay.
When I hear it,
Yes.
I'm not going to use that.
Right. You're not going to be like, oh, that's an exquisite dinner.
In my daily life,
Yeah.
I'm just going to be like, oh, fancy word.
Exactly.
That's a good example.
That's a perfect example. So how do we activate those fancy words?
Yeah. How do we?
The expert has a surprisingly simple
Okay.
yet effective solution.
Okay.
Read aloud.
Read aloud.
Interesting.
I know it sounds kind of basic.
Yeah, it does sound a little basic.
Yeah, but it's actually brilliant when you think about it.
Okay, I'm listening.
It's actually brilliant when you think about it. By reading aloud, you're not only seeing the words, but also hearing yourself say them,
Okay.
which reinforces pronunciation and helps with sentence structure.
So it's like a low-pressure way to practice speaking without having to come up with your own material.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
Right.
But what about those of us
Yeah.
who are too shy to even speak to themselves?
All right.
Yes.
Well, for those who prefer a more technological approach, there's a fantastic tool from Cambridge University called the Speak and Improve website.
Speak and improve.
It's basically a robot that you can have conversations with.
What a robot conversation partner.
Yes.
That sounds both intriguing and slightly terrifying.
It is.
Is it like those chat bots that sometimes give you like weird responses?
Not at all. This one is specifically designed for language learning.
Gotcha.
It asks you questions, listens to your responses,
Okay.
and provides feedback on your pronunciation.
Oh, cool.
The best part is it's completely judgment-free.
So it's like having a personal language tutor available 24/7.
Exactly.
But without the awkwardness of like making mistakes in front of a real person.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah, it takes the pressure off.
Yeah.
And if you want to practice with a bit more structure,
Okay.
you can go back to lo.org.
Uh-huh.
They have videos that you can use to practice answering questions.
So
This way you're exposed to different speakers
Yeah.
and can even borrow vocabulary from their responses.
Oh, and I remember she also mentioned another tool
Yeah.
that wasn't designed for language learning,
Right.
but it's surprisingly effective for pronunciation practice.
Yes.
And it's called speechnotes.com.
Speechnotes.com, that's one of my favorites.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
So it's a speech-to-text website. And so as you speak, it transcribes your words.
Oh, wow.
But here's the catch.
Okay.
If you mispronounce something, the algorithm won't understand you.
What?
And you have to try again until you get it right.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So it's like this digital pronunciation police officer.
Exactly. Make sure you're enunciating
I
properly.
love it.
And as a bonus,
Okay.
it also adds punctuation marks as you speak.
What?
So you're learning how to use them correctly in written English as well.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, we've covered listening and speaking,
Yes.
but what about all these new words we're encountering?
Right.
How do we actually make sure that they stick?
Okay, so that's where the next 7 minutes of the routine comes in, focusing on vocabulary building.
Okay.
The key here is not to overwhelm yourself.
Right.
The expert recommends picking 3 to 5 new words from your listening and speaking activities
Gotcha.
and really focusing on them.
So it's about quality over quantity.
Exactly.
Really digging deep into those words and making them part of your active vocabulary.
Exactly.
Any tips on how to do that effectively?
Well, she emphasizes writing the words down, creating your own sentences with them, and saying them out loud.
So it's about like engaging with these words in different ways
Yes.
to really solidify them in your memory.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
It's like taking them for a spin,
Yeah.
trying them out
Uh-huh.
in different contexts
Right.
to see how they feel.
Love it. But we still have a few minutes left.
Yes.
In this 20-minute routine,
Yes, we do.
what's the final step?
This is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
The last 3 minutes are dedicated to reflection,
Okay.
specifically using a dream board.
A dream board for language learning.
Yes.
I've never heard of that before.
I know, it's a really cool concept.
What's the connection?
So it's about connecting your language learning goals
Okay.
to your personal aspirations.
Okay.
So think about, why are you learning English in the first place?
Yeah.
What doors will it open for you? The dream board helps you visualize those goals and keep your motivation strong.
So it's not just about memorizing grammar rules and vocabulary lists.
Oh.
It's about tying it to like a bigger picture,
Exactly.
a reason that resonates with you personally.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that.
And the expert actually shared an anecdote
Ah,
about how her dream board helped manifest an invitation
okay.
to a red carpet event.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
She put a picture of a red carpet event on her dream board.
Yes.
And then she got invited to one?
She did.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes. She believes that by visualizing her goals,
Wow.
she was subconsciously attracting opportunities that aligned with them.
Okay.
And she encourages listeners to be specific with their wishes.
Okay.
Like, think about what you want to achieve with English.
Sure.
Whether it's traveling the world,
Mm-hmm.
landing your dream job, or even just being able to understand your favorite English language movies
Yeah.
without subtitles.
Okay, that's pretty powerful. I'm starting to see the appeal of this dream board approach.
Yeah, it's a great tool.
So to recap,
Yes.
we have 5 minutes of listening,
Huh?
5 minutes of speaking,
Yes.
7 minutes of vocabulary building,
Mm-hmm.
and 3 minutes of dream board reflection.
Exactly.
A pretty packed 20 minutes,
It is,
but definitely doable.
but doable. And the beauty of it is,
Yeah.
even on those days when you feel strapped for time, those 20 minutes can make a huge difference.
Yeah.
It's about consistency and making the most of those short bursts of learning.
Now I have to ask, did she mention anything about resources to support this routine?
She did.
Okay.
She briefly talked about a workbook she created
Okay.
to accompany the routine.
Yeah.
It seems like it's been quite popular among learners,
Mm-hmm.
providing extra structure and guidance for each step.
That's great to know. It sounds like a perfect complement to this routine.
Yeah.
especially for those who thrive on having a clear plan.
Exactly.
But as much as I love diving into the details of this routine, I think it's time to shift the focus back to our listener.
Yes, I agree.
We've explored this fascinating 20-minute routine, uncovered some incredibly valuable tips.
Yeah.
But now it's about how you, the listener,
Right.
can apply it to your own life.
Yes. Think about your dream board for a moment.
Yeah.
What's one thing on there that English fluency would help you achieve?
Really picture it in your mind.
Yeah, feel that sense of accomplishment. Because with consistent effort and the right approach, that dream can become a reality.
I think what's so fascinating about this whole routine,
Yeah, what is it?
it's not just about reaching a certain level of fluency and then stopping,
Oh, yeah.
Language learning is a continuous journey.
It is. It's like any skill.
Right.
You need to keep practicing and challenging yourself to stay sharp.
Totally. And the world of English is constantly evolving.
Right.
With new words and expressions.
All the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
So even once you achieve a level of fluency where you feel comfortable communicating,
Right.
there's always room to grow and refine your skills.
Exactly.
And that's actually kind of exciting.
It is. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
It means there's always something new to discover,
Yeah.
a new challenge to tackle.
Right.
And those aha moments when you finally grasp a tricky grammar concept or effortlessly understand a native speaker?
The best.
They never get old.
They really don't. It's like those little rewards sprinkled throughout the journey that keep you motivated and remind you why you started learning English in the first place.
And it's so important to celebrate those small victories along the way.
Totally.
Every new word learned, every conversation you can now participate in, those are all steps forward.
It's true. It's so easy to get caught up in what you haven't mastered yet.
Yeah.
But it's so important to acknowledge how far you've come.
Absolutely.
And who knows, maybe someday you'll be the one sharing your own language learning tips and inspiring others to embark on this incredible journey.
It's a beautiful cycle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sharing knowledge and empowering each other to reach new heights.
Love it. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of efficient English learning, remember, 20 minutes a day, a clear plan, and a sprinkle of dream board magic can take you further than you ever imagined.
Keep learning, keep exploring, and most importantly, keep dreaming.
Happy learning, everyone!
Happy learning.